Is it true that Taehyung will live with this condition for the rest of his life? Why was news about his medical condition only revealed after completing military service? And why was Jungkook the first to publicly confirm this condition? These questions are now shaking social media, sparking waves of concern from BTS fans around the world, and triggering serious debates about transparency in idol health information within South Korea's entertainment industry. Recently, the BTS fandom was shocked by reports that Kim Taehyung, also known as V of BTS, experienced a decline in his health condition shortly after finishing his mandatory military service. This information first surfaced on social media mid-last week after an anonymous military medical staff member leaked that Taehyung was receiving continued treatment despite having officially completed all his military duties. Speculation grew stronger when Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, appeared in a special interview with a major South Korean media outlet and indirectly confirmed that there was something not to be taken lightly regarding Taehyung's health. In the interview, Jungkook refused to provide specific details due to privacy concerns, but his statement, "That's something we've known for a long time, but reappeared after the military," became the starting point of a global stir that continues to grow. The circulating issue is that Taehyung experienced a relapse of an old injury that had never been publicly discussed. It is said that the injury occurred long before he entered the military but worsened due to the physical strain during training. Some fans even started digging through old footage, including moments when Taehyung seemed to walk with difficulty or skip certain choreography, as clues pointing to a medical issue that is now becoming very real in the public eye. The statement from the agency, HYB Labels, only added to the confusion. In its official statement, HYB said that Taehyung is currently taking normal rest and there is no need for excessive concern. However, the statement was considered too brief and failed to answer the main question: is it true that Taehyung will live with a certain medical condition for the rest of his life? Local Korean media, including Dispatch and Naver Entertainment, tried to confirm directly with military and hospital sources involved, but almost all parties refused to provide further comments. This silence only fueled more speculation. Many netizens said that Taehyung's old injury might be neurological or related to the spine, considering some fans recalled his complaints of back pain briefly mentioned in a V-Live broadcast years ago. Meanwhile, Jungkook remains the only member who consistently shows special concern for Taehyung's condition since the issue emerged. In recent days, Jungkook was seen visiting the hospital where Taehyung is undergoing further examination, and some sources stated that he also postponed several of his solo schedules to accompany his friend and bandmate. In a follow-up interview recorded by a Japanese broadcast channel, Jungkook said, "We all know this job carries risks, and there are things we can't control even if we're careful. What Taehyung is experiencing now is something we never expected, but we have to face it with our heads held high." That statement became the main discussion topic in the international army community, who interpreted Jungkook's words as indicating something more serious than reported by the media. Not only that, internal sources stated that since leaving the military, Taehyung did not return directly to his private residence, but underwent medical observation at an extended military facility on the advice of the health team. This procedure is usually given only to military personnel who experience injury or trauma during training, and is generally related to long-term disorders. This fact strengthens a possibility that Taehyung is indeed experiencing a medical issue that could affect his activities for a significant time. This situation also drew strong reactions from fans demanding greater transparency from the agency. Many believe the public deserves to know the truth, especially since BTS has built an emotionally strong relationship with its fans. ARMY doesn't just see Taehyung as an artist, but as part of their lives for over a decade. Therefore, the news that he might have to live with a certain medical condition for life is deeply upsetting and causes immense worry. One fan from South Korea even organized a fundraising campaign to support Taehyung's recovery costs, even though there is no confirmation that he needs financial aid. This shows how much love and care the fan community has for their idol, and at the same time highlights the lack of clear information from management. Some health analysts interviewed by local media suspected that Taehyung's condition could be related to a chronic musculoskeletal disorder, such as spinal degeneration or nerve compression, which usually requires long-term treatment and lifestyle adjustments. If true, Taehyung may need to adjust many of his future activities, including stage performances, which have long been a core part of BTS's identity. As of now, there has been no official confirmation from Taehyung himself. His personal social media accounts have shown no new activity in the past 2 weeks. This absence is seen as a sign that he is focusing on recovery or perhaps not ready to make a public statement. On the other hand, his fellow BTS members have not shared any messages directly related to the condition, making the public even more curious. What is really going on when the media tried to gather more information? One report mentioned that Taehyung had difficulty moving on his last day of military duty. The report came from a fellow soldier who attended the release ceremony and witnessed Taehyung walking more slowly than usual. Although he appeared calm and smiling, several witnesses said his movement seemed stiff, especially when going downstairs. Could this be an early sign of the condition he is currently experiencing? If it is true that Taehyung is experiencing a long-term health issue, this would be one of the most emotional and heartbreaking moments in BTS's journey. Not only because it concerns an idol's physical condition, but because it shows that behind all the stage glamour and camera flashes, there lies a human reality full of limitations and pain. After looking further at all the information that has developed regarding the health condition of Kim Taehyung or VBTS, as reported on various social media and online forums in recent days, it should be emphasized that until now there is no concrete evidence, official statements, or medical documentation that can corroborate the claim that Taehyung has a chronic health disorder that will last a lifetime. All speculation circulating, whether sourced from anonymous accounts, unverified fan bases, or the results of public interpretation of Jungkook's remarks in a short interview, cannot yet be used as a valid reference. The first fact that should be underlined is that the agency, HYBE labels, as an official representative of BTS, has never stated that Taehyung is experiencing a serious medical condition. HYBE's brief statement that Taehyung is currently on a break is a very common and frequent phrase for artists who have just completed their military service. In this context, the recovery period does not mean the presence of injuries or severe illnesses. Many military personnel are given time off to readapt to civilian life after more than a year of rigorous physical training and discipline. Furthermore, there was no explicit statement from Jungkook directly mentioning that Taehyung has a chronic illness or medical condition. The sentences he delivered in the interview were precisely neutral and diplomatic. Sentence fragments such as, "There are things we knew a long time ago," and "we had to face with our heads held high," do not provide detailed information regarding any illness or injury. These sentences can be interpreted in a variety of contexts, including perhaps relating to emotional distress, mental fatigue, or even non-medical personal matters. Thus, public assumptions that exaggerate such statements as recognition of a permanent medical condition are a form of unfounded generalization. This carries the risk of harmful misinformation, especially if used to spread panic, fear, or excessive speculation among global fans. Another aspect that needs to be clarified is the claim that Taehyung received intensive care at a military hospital after being discharged from the service. Neither visual evidence, nor statements by doctors, nor official reports from the military indicate this. The information circulating comes from unknown sources that cannot be accounted for journalistically. In the world of professional journalism, reports from anonymous sources that do not have a credible track record should not be used as the main basis for shaping public opinion. It is also important to remember that during his military service, Taehyung was never reported to have suffered serious injuries or received significant medical dispensation. There were no reports of medical leave, long-term hospital treatment, or official documentation from the military showing that he had experienced severe physical impairment. Quite the contrary, some official documentation from the military shows that Taehyung successfully completed basic training and active service with a good record. The photos and videos during the release event also showed her stable physical condition and smiling, with no signs of injury or significant discomfort. In this context, it should be understood that many artists, including BTS members, choose not to immediately return to the public post-military service not because of illness or injury, but rather because of a personal need to rest, rearrange career schedules, or prepare for the transition to the next project. Interpreting periods of silence or absence on social media as a sign of illness is a fallacy of assumption that can be detrimental. This conclusion is also important from the ethical side of information dissemination. Spreading the issue about someone's health condition without any medical basis or official statement is a form of invasion of privacy and can create psychological pressure on the artist concerned. Taehyung, like anyone, is entitled to personal space and control over the narrative about him. Without his permission or confirmation, personal health-related information should not be used for public consumption, especially if it is speculative and has the potential to harm his reputation. Fan communities and social media should be places for positive support, not spreading unfounded fears or narratives of sympathy. The Army, as an intelligent global community, should be able to critically filter information, avoid sensationalism, and wait for official confirmation before drawing conclusions. IT should also be conveyed that the physical and mental condition of an artist can experience ups and downs, and this is a very human thing. However, each individual has their own way and time to share their story, and the pressure to uncover everything right now will only make the situation worse. If Taehyung does have something to share, he will definitely do it his own way, at the time he deems appropriate. In conclusion, it is important to reiterate that the news about Taehyung having a lifelong medical condition revealed by Jungkook cannot be categorized as fact until there is direct confirmation from the relevant parties. Articles that discuss such matters should be considered as speculation or unverified issues. The public and fans are urged to remain vigilant against the spread of hoaxes and not get caught up in clickbait narratives that sacrifice journalistic accuracy and ethics. Let's support Taehyung and all BTS members wisely, in a healthy, non-invasive, and empathetic way. The most real appreciation is to give trust, space, and the best prayers for their health and future, without excessive pressure and expectations that can actually become a burden.